All right, so the next step is going to make it so that this fish is sort of warped and looks like it's doing something cool. So to do that, I want a banding wheel because I'm going to be moving this to the hair dryer in a minute. And then I want some paper. I've got a bunch of this brown paper at the front table. I'm going to crumble up the brown paper so it makes like a ball. And then I can start to shape my fish. So if I want my fish to kind of come up, I'm going to put some brown paper underneath there. And I can take away or add as much brown paper as I want. Right, so now my fish is kind of curving this way. Maybe I want the fish's fins to do something cool. So maybe I can sort of push out things, shape things. You want it to look like it's got a little bit of motion in it. Once I'm happy with the shape, I can go ahead and take this over to my hair dryer and dry it a little bit. I took my piece over to the hair dryer. I dried it a little bit, and now I can remove the paper and it stays in position. So you'll notice that that I made sure to like curve it quite a bit because it's more interesting when it's doing something versus if it's sitting flat. All right, so I have it curved quite a bit. You can keep things under it just to keep things from breaking while you're working. But now what I need to do is I need to attach it to my base. So my base is here. I kept the template underneath just when I'm working on it. To connect these two pieces, I need to do score and slip. So I'm going to go ahead and move this and kind of position it where I want it to go. The fish should go something like this. I could maybe even lift it and have it lift up a little more. I could angle it more. It just depends on what you want to do. I could put it closer to the bottom. I do have to keep in mind that I want this to hang up and I need to have a spot that I can put a hole. Once I'm happy with it, you can make some indication of where it goes. This is on the front though, so be careful because it will be visible unless you cover it up somehow. So I made a few little indications here, and I'm only going to be putting score marks where this is going to be touching. If you're not sure where it's touching, you can add a little bit of water to it and then set it down. And I can even line it up where it's supposed to go. Sort of push it down a little bit and then pick it up. And now anywhere that's shiny, I know is actually touching my fish. So I can score with my pointy stick. You can use this tool. Just be careful not to cut all the way through. And then if you have anything like a fork or a plastic fork works really well. These serrated ribs work really well too. You want to rough it up really well. Just go through now on the fish, and I'm going to go along where it's wet, because that theoretically should be the part that connects. Now that I have that on both, I'm going to put a little bit of water on my fingers, and I'm going to put water where I scratch those grooves on both my fish and my base. Once that's wet on both sides where the groove is, I'm going to go ahead and carefully set it down. Line everything up. You can put your paper, not your paper towel, but your paper underneath, and you can push it down. Just be careful. If you push too hard, you might dent your fish. That might not be what you want. Now, once the fish is on there, I can go through with other tools and I can draw on it. I can clean it up. Just be careful because it is still very delicate. So you might have to support it while you use a tool to clean it up. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to clean off any unsightly areas on it. Maybe I want to round over the edges so that it looks a little more organic. And then I can take my fish drawing from before, I can lay it on top, and I can actually use this to mark out where I've drawn. So I'm going to take my pointy stick now, and I can push down into it. Be careful, your clay is still very fragile. And I can use that as a guide to know where things are going to go. Or you can just freehand it. You do have this nearby. You can just look at it and go, where did I have the gills again? You can absolutely draw in different things if you want. You don't have to do any of this. You could just paint it on. Try out other tools, right? What happens if I draw with this tool instead of the pointy stick? What happens if I use one of these modeling tools and I draw with them? Careful not to press too hard and mess up your fish the way it's bent. So I'm probably going to try to just put my initials up here somewhere. So I would write my initials in class period. All right. You can use any tool to do this. Just make sure after you do it, it's clear who it belongs to. And then the last thing, that class period is very important. If I can't see your class period, then I don't know where it's supposed to go. So I'm actually going to smooth an area because it's really hard to see. Smooth an area, and then I'm going to write my class period. Make sure it's somewhere Mrs. Morin can see it. The next thing is going to be punching a hole in it. You can use any tool and you want to aim for the center and dig a little hole through it. All right. So I've aimed for the center here. I've used this tool, the pointy stick, and I'm just going to make sure it goes all the way through. Very carefully hold on to my fish, clean up the back so it doesn't scratch up my wall. And if there's anything else that needs to be cleaned up, you can use a lightly dampened sponge and you can go over and clean up any edges. This is almost ready to be placed onto the firing rack. So I'm going to go ahead and store it with the paper under it so that I have a very lively looking fish when it comes out of the kiln. All right. So don't forget to put your initials on it. Don't forget to put that little hole in it and have fun making. But I'm going to